Hello, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. So today, we're looking at sold listings pages. And to a degree, these are becoming more and more automated as we add more features to the system. So right now they kind of work both ways, depending on the data we're getting. So either the listings will be added automatically if we're getting sold data for you, but you can still add listings manually, or even if we're not getting data, you can always add listings to it manually, as long as there's data for those listings in our system from when they were active. So before I overcomplicate this, let's go into the DeltaNet and I'll show you how to set one up. So first we will go down to the website tab and down to pages, where we make all of our custom page additions and modifications. And now here in our page list at the top, we have a new page button. So go ahead and click there. Sold listings page is a predefined page. You can see we have the different choices here, so we'll go with predefined. And we'll choose from our predefined page link exactly which predefined page we want to go with. Now, we do have another video that goes over all these different kinds of custom pages in detail. But today, just sold listings. I want to do a special video for sold listings because it's a tricky enough page, or it does enough, we'll put it that way. So we'll go down here and pick sold listings. You see that there's doubles here, but there won't be doubles on yours. That's just because this is the demo site, and that's kind of how it goes. So now that we have our sold listings page type selected, we'll go down here, and we have this WYSIWYG editor where we can add a little bit of header information to this page. So basically whatever we type here should show up at the top of our sold listings page. So I'll just put my sold listings so that we have something to look at. We'll scroll down, we'll add in our link title. As always, the link title is what will appear in our list here. It's also what the customer needs to click on to get to the page in question. So for link title, we'll make that my sold listings. And on the newer templates, the newer web page templates, or in the modular theme system, you'll be able to choose from navigation menu or bottom links as to where you want it to show up. Navigation menu allows you to place it in your drop-down menus at the top, and then bottom links will put it all the way at the bottom of the page. So in this case, I'll go ahead and select navigation menu, make the page title my sold listings. And there's some best practices for the page title and the meta description tags and stuff, and we have kind of a video dedicated to those, or well, we'll do another one in DeltaNet 5. We have a DeltaNet 4 video dedicated to those. But basically, there's some best practices for the way you want to enter those, and if you click on this click here link, it'll take you to a page, or actually it will download a sheet for you that'll give you some information on things you can do with those. So once we have everything filled in, we hit update page, and when we scroll down here to the bottom, in our navigation menu section, we should have my sold listings there at the bottom. So where it is, we'll add it to the end of our navigation. So if I go up here and preview website, you can see my sold listings here at the end. In this case, if I want to put it, we'll put it under the Meet tab just so we can see it. So if I grab this and drag it in one and indent it under the Meet tab and save it, I moved that, but it's not going to matter because I didn't save it. You can see it's gone, but if we roll over Meet, there it is. All right, so now that we've added the sold listings page there, we need to add sold listings to the system so that there's something, so your page has, or your website has something to display on that page. So to do that, we'll go back into the DeltaNet, and we're going to go down to Listings and Sold Listings. Now you can see here that I already added in two, and the way this page is going to work is I can use this MLS ID field, and I can put in an MLS ID. As long as that listing is either coming in through like a sold data feed that we're getting from the MLS, if we're getting one from your MLS, or if at some point that listing was live and active on the site, it should come up when you put in the MLS ID here. Otherwise, you don't see the option here, but if there was sold listing data coming into this site from the MLS, it would automatically try to add in any sold listings that are yours. And it'll find buyers and sellers listings automatically. Now, keep in mind that it does take a little while after the listing sells. Right now, at most, it should take about 7 days. But at that point, it should automatically add in for you. So I would say, if you know we're getting your sold listing data, instead of adding it in manually, just give it the 7 days after the listing closes and let it add it in automatically. But if you don't want to let it add in, you can always add it manually here. So to do that, you would just type in the MLS number. In this case, I'm going to say, obviously these aren't real MLS numbers, but kind of. It finds our listing. We can select whether we're the buyer or seller's agent, or both. It will automatically fill in the sold price, but it's not really the sold price if it's pulling it from active listing data. What it's filling in for sold price is the list price on this property. But you can change it here. So if this was the list price and it actually sold for $440,000, we can just change that. We can add a tagline to it that'll appear on the page if we want. And then these are the comments that it picks up automatically, because these were the comments that were already attached to this listing. But you can also modify these if you want. And then add it to our sold listings. And now it's in our list. So now, if we go to our sold listings page, here they are. And you see my sold listings is what we typed at the to appear as the header on this page. And then as we go down, this is just our list of sold listings. Adds in the comments automatically and puts in all the listing information. All right, so the other thing you can do with these pages is you can create more than one sold listings page so that you can dedicate sold listings to certain specific types of listings. And you do that through keywords. So what I've done is, if we go ahead and check this listing, and you can go back in and edit any of your sold listings as they'll appear on the page by clicking on just the MLS ID of the listing. So we can see original price, sold price. You can modify that the same way you could when you first entered it. Status is automatically sold, but you could change it to pending and show pendings on this page if you wanted. You can choose buyer or seller, so most of this is the same as it was, but the additional thing here is keywords. So if you type in a keyword here, the sold listings page with the matching keyword is the one that will display this listing. So when we added our sold listings page, we didn't enter a keyword for it, so it displayed all 3 sold listings, since that's how many I have in here. But we have the sold listings page set as Canton for the keyword on this particular listing. So you can change the picture in here too, by the way. So if I go to website and back to pages, and we'll go back to our sold listings page, which we named My Sold Listings as I remember. There we go. We have a keywords field. So if I type in Canton, which was the keyword on that listing, and go down here and save it, you'll see when I go back to my sold listings page, it returns only that one listing because that's the only one with a matching keyword. So now if I want, I can say sold listings, and we'll change this to sold listings Canton. We'll update it, and now we'll make a second page, also predefined, and we're just making another sold listings page, and we're going to put the keyword on this one, Akron. Add it to our navigation menu. Update this page. I know I'm going kind of fast, but it'll all make sense soon. There we go. So now what I've done is I created a second sold listings page, and I added it to the navigation menu exactly the same way we did the first one, and then indented it so it's in the same drop-down menu, and saved that. So now if we go back to our site here and refresh it, if we go to Meet, we'll have, because that's the drop-down I put it in, we have My Sold Listings Canton and My Sold Listings Akron. So if I type on click on My Sold Listings Canton, I get the listing that I have marked as Canton in the keywords for that particular sold listing. If I go to Akron, I get a different listing, and this is the one that I put Akron in the keywords for this listing. And now I could make a third sold listings page really quickly. I'm getting good at this, see? Sold listings, no keywords on this one. And we'll just call this one my sold listing since it's going to be all of them. Navigation menu, update, and put it in our list. Save it. Refresh our page again. So now we have a third one that's just my sold listings. We click on that one, thinks about it for a minute, and now we have all 3 sold listings. So that's how it works, and that's how you can set up keywords for each of your listing. And you don't have to do them by city names like that. Keywords can be anything you want. So the page had the ability for you to select as pending or as sold when you enter a listing manually. So you could have one sold listings page that has the keyword pendings that just shows the ones that you've added here and marked as pending, and one that is just actual sold listings. So one for pendings, one for solds. Market is the easiest one, like I did with Canton and Akron in this case. But yet again, you can use anything you want. You can even do price ranges on those. So one keyword could be, range 1 could be your keyword, and that's all your sold listings from a certain price range. And then you could do one for price range 2, price range 3, and make them whatever you want. So that is all there is to it. We have my sold listings Canton with the 1, Akron with the other one, and then all sold with all 3. All right, so there you go. That just about covers the sold listing system. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any video suggestions, feel free to comment on our Facebook channel or our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, or send an email into support@deltagroup.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So it's good talking to you, and I'll have another video for you next week.